a stranger, wandering through this world of sin, on my way to that fair city, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in. Lord, I want to be in that number, when the saints go marching in. Oh, I know I'll see my Savior if my life is free from sin. Heaven's door will open for me when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in, Lord, I want to be in that number, when the saints go marching in. When we gather round the throne and the gates are closed within, I'll be shouting glory, glory, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in, Lord, I want to be in that number, when the saints go marching in. I am waiting for the chariot to swing low, and I'll step in. On the clouds I'll ride to heaven, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in. Oh, Lord, I want to be among the number, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in. Oh, Lord, I want to be among the number, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in. Lord, I want to be in that number, when the saints go marching in. Wandering through.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. When the saints go marching in, I want to be in that number. I used to sing that at Charlton Athletic before we absolutely smashed into Millwall. Sorry. Calm down. I'm really a Toon fan. But yeah, I thought I'd start the show with that because I thought last night at the Restore event in central Devon was fantastic. So all I'm doing really is giving you an update on that. There was quite a few of our members being in the English Constitution Society, and we did help out. In fact, I think there was quite a bit of we was doing, and I am going to be doing some personal leafleting, help with the weight loss. But there we all are. And remember what I keep telling everyone, and I don't mean it lightly, this isn't about me, right? The English Constitution Society and the English Constitution Party, which was always strategic, right? I mean, look at the English Constitution Party. Our manifesto is the English Constitution. It's literally, and I had to have an argument with the Electoral Commission. We'll never say anything like that. Well, tough. You have now. Members of Parliament are there to protect your civil liberties, your rights. They are there to air your grievances to the Crown. That's their job, right? And it's not really, and it never has been, for an MP to put his party first. It's to put his constituents first, right? And then the constituency, from that constituency, you've got the people within the constituency, the parishes, part of a district, but it is for them to represent all of those people, even the people that didn't vote, right? For that person, I meant. Not voting is a sin, in my view. Why do I say that? Because you are complicit in allowing corruption to take place. Because there's good people don't want to be elected, and now in some places, I think one place was when in excess of 70% of the people didn't vote. I was like, wow, that's communist demoralisation maximising itself in that area. But that, let me just make sure I show you this, if I can find it here. This is the area that I'm talking about, and it is on your screen as we speak. This has already been promoted on Twitter and various other platforms. So just in case you don't think that's me standing there, we're voting Restore Britain. And I was like, this is good. I quite like this. They had everything there. There was quite a few of us that was there from, and again, I'm not going to shout the names out because I don't want to, but there's quite a few of them. And what I've kept saying to people is don't forget, we're the good guys, not the bad guys, right? So the main objective of last night was to listen and to listen to other people saying what they had to say. And there were some fantastic speakers there. In particular, the way they arranged it, at first I thought, this is a bit strange. And then you could see why they did it. Because I'm hard of hearing, so you could hear people speaking and the different reasons why they joined, why they come along, why they was there. And again, I just want to make sure everyone knows it's not about me. In particular, for me now, this is about Devon. I'm going to explain some things to people because I think I've expressed it enough time. London is lost. Doesn't mean we can't get it back, but London is currently lost. It is a region of the European Union. We've already lost completely Middlesex, and I mentioned that last night to people. if you think this can't happen, you better liven up with thinking about exactly who put this all in place. Yorkshire has been divided up over time and is lost in a lot of areas, and certainly mayoral positions. And again, I'm not going to go into too much detail. It's fairly obvious. But if you was to make void the British Nationality Act, there are things that you can do that can bring everything back pretty lively. But these people need to listen to constitutionalists that actually understand the Constitution, not what some Marxist has taught you in university, by hook or by crook. That they have con people. But that was the group of people, from my knowledge currently, and we are creating some other bits and pieces down here. So for me, it's being focused on Devon. The English Constitution Society, we're obviously still doing the seminars on going out and speaking to people, teaching people about the Constitution, the real law, showing them what the Constitution actually is, and the fact it is English. No such thing as British Constitution at all, or in fact British law. But it was fantastic. So we had a number of discussions. It was the first meeting they'd had. I was asking whether there's different places that they wanted to go to, and I think a few things were spoken about. And then I had a conversation, I think, with a lady in the head office, which I'm not going to discuss tonight. But she did say, we've had lots and lots and lots of positive feedback about you. So again, I'm proud of all the members of the English Constitution Society and the English Constitution Party, because, like I said to everyone, we're the good guys. We're not the bad guys. We never have been. We've been vilified by Marxists. So again, last night, Fabian's come up. And a few people looked at me and thought he's going to go off on one here about the Fabians, but I didn't. And all I did is literally confirm that they are a serious threat to England, always have been. I could tell you some more about that, but so it was a good event. I encourage the English Constitution Society and anyone in the English Constitution Party. It's much more. So let me just explain this. The English Constitution Society is non-political. It is educational only, and it is cross-party. So that's another way in which Rupert Lowe and myself, one, it's a movement, and it's existed for quite some time, right? It is a movement, and it's about education. Two, and most importantly, it aligns, because I've seen and watched the way Rupert's worked in terms of bringing people into the rape and torture gang inquiry. He kept insisting this is cross-party, right? It's non-partisan. We just want justice. And that's exactly what the English Constitution Society is, right? It's cross-party. And that's why when we do events and seminars, we get anywhere between 100 and 300 people turn up, right? And they can be Labour supporters, they can be non-voters, they can be Conservatives, they can be Lib Dems, because they've come along to listen to the real history of the English Constitution and where it all come from. And it's obviously sometimes some are longer depending on the venue. And then there's the questions and answers, right? So people can ask me questions. They get involved with some of the questions outside as well with themselves. But remember, the primary reason we started the English Constitution Party was because people asked us to, right? And remember why it was particularly founded. It was because of COVID. Again, I was going around doing seminars at Stan in the Pals. We had people on rebels on roundabouts that was also showing that we had constitutional rights. I had a card here somewhere. Can you find that card? Remember that card I had? Well, we printed loads of them. You see, can I have one? I'll give it to you the other day. Thank you to my assistant. So again, I'm going to show you. I'm going to probably bring it up and show it to you on the screen. It might be easy if I take a photo of it. I have actually got the original one on the screen somewhere. But if I show you, let me show you where it is, and then you'll understand what I'm actually talking about. Let me pull that up, because I think it's important that people do get. We're not the bad guys, and I think people get that in a big way. So what I'm going to do is take that I don't want that one coming up on the screen, so I will have to take a photo of it. Let's see if I can bring it up on there. My little notepad. You didn't know I had a notepad, did you? Tracy bought me that for Christmas. I think it's Tracy. There you go. Well, someone bought it for me. I'll get so much coming through there. So let me put that to one side a sec. Right, so I'm now going to. So the event was fantastic. The people were fantastic. There was a lot of good comments, but many of the people there haven't campaigned or done anything before, and so there was a couple of us and other people there that were saying, like, you need to do this, you need to do that, and explaining things to them. This is the first time anyone's ever been involved, apart from Brexit, and some of them that used to be the early UKIPers that then become despondent, because basically we all got stitched up by the state. So I'm just going to make sure everyone gets that. And before I do anything else, I'm going to try and bring this up on the screen. Whether it works or not is another matter. Hopefully you can see it. But what we did, let me see if I can bring the picture up, and I'll bring it up on the screen. So there, you should be able to see that on your screen. Can you see that? There's my little notepad there. But we had these cards, Bill of Rights 1688, and it said exactly what it was on the front. And it said the Constitution is, this is like years ago, but we made these for a particular reason. And this was the back of the card. So hopefully it's going to come back up, right? There it is there. Hopefully you can read that on your screens. Let's see if I can get it right. My constitutional statutory rights are not affected by the regulations brought under the Public Health Control of Diseases Act 1984 or the Coronavirus Act of 2020 by order of the Bill of Rights 1688/9, and then it went to www.takebackcontrol.vote. All right, so that in particular, that website goes straight to us, but it was again a Daddy Dragon website. That there's lots of history on there, lots of articles. There's 3 major articles on there about the Fabian Society, and it makes extraordinary reading when you understand. I'll give you an example. That border force, or border farce as some people call it, was actually initiated by a Fabian minister because they put things in place and then fill them with their own people, which is now what's going on currently, right? So you're basically seeing exactly what the Fabian Society are all about, which is literally destroying us. And when I say us, I mean the English in particular. So yeah, just want to make sure everything's on there. There is some couple of other things I wanted to show you. So you got that one there. Don't know what was going on with that one. I've got to show you this one because it still makes me laugh, right? I'm going to show you this because it just makes me laugh, right? He just met a woman for the first time. I think I've shown it on the show before, but every time I see it, it makes me laugh. So I've got to show it to you. Here it is. Have you all seen this one? But just look at this little boy's face, right? It's just, watch. Look at his face. He's terrified, isn't he? Not saying all women are like that, of course, but you do get the occasional one. I did think it was funny, so I thought I'd show it to you again. Right, just some of the things that pop across my thing on there. Yeah, and there's no compulsion to receive medical intervention in that bill. I had posted it in my window for the staff working in the care homes. Oh, DD, hi DD. Did you know that if we took David Lammy and all of the village idiots from every village in England and put them all in a village, David Lammy would still be the village idiot? Yeah, basically. He's not that silly though, is he? He's a Marxist. Currently, he's sitting in that parliament. What people don't know is where one of his parents, I'm sure it's one of his parents, come from, which was Guyana from South America. Bearing in mind they had a communist coup there, and then people started to infiltrate and come into England, and then get involved with politics, and that's what they did. The other person is Jenny Miller. Her parents come from Guyana again. Her father was the Attorney General, all right, during the communist coup, right. So don't ever think this has just happened. It isn't. It is an organised coup against England and against the common law, making sure everyone understands that. So getting back to Rupert Lowe, there are elements that I think need tweaking. That's all, right. They are, but I believe, in excess of 130,000 members. I won't repeat what I was told today because it was a telephone conversation, but they are massively signing these people up, and they are trying to get through these people and looking at their social media feeds to make sure they're not taking on wrong uns, right? I mean, bad wrong uns. Again, I see a tweet from Rupert Lowe today. This made me laugh. And I think, I can't remember what it was. It was something to do with, if I remember rightly, let's see if I can find it again. I've got to find it. Let's see if I can find it somewhere. It was from Rupert Lowe. Rupert Lowe. Or was it from one of these people? Rupert. If I can show you this. The reason I show you these things, quite obviously, is because a lot of people they're not on Twitter, right? And by the way, Rupert Lowe was stitched up by GB News, but so was Jacob Rees-Mogg, right? So I can't find that particular tweet at the moment. I'm trying to look for it. If anyone's got it, it's where he basically called. Who's that? Oh, England. Happy St. George's Day. Blessed be the English. Let me have a look. I still haven't found it yet. Right, so I'm going to have a look and see what I can do. If anyone's got it, it's the one where he says, I'll tell you what, evil. It's much. I'm not sure if this comes up. Let's take that off of there. I'm gonna see if I can find this. Where's Rupert Lowe? Rupert Lowe said this. Someone's probably trying to send it to me. Where is it? Oh, there it is. There's me trying not to swear, or try not to be too bad with my language, put it that way, right? Now, without me, so one word, terrifying, right? Listen to this.
A few days ago, I shocked many of you, particularly those who've been my supporters for years, by saying that I thought perhaps Tony Blair had a role. All right, you can switch off if you want to, but please listen to the argument. Whatever you think of Blair's misdeeds, when he says he's going to do something, he actually goes and does it. And the reason that I picked up on Blair was I saw him last
They're like destroy England.
week talking about the vaccine, talking about the rollout with more knowledge than anybody in government. A few days ago, I shocked many of you, particularly those who've been my supporters for years, by saying that I thought perhaps Tony Blair had a role. All right, you can switch off if you want to, but please listen to the argument. Whatever you think of Blair's misdeeds, when he says he's going to do something, he actually goes and does it. And the reason that I picked up on Blair.
Yeah, you mean like taking the war with Iraq on a fucking lie?
Was I saw him last week talking about the vaccine, talking about the rollout with more knowledge than anybody in government. A few days ago, I shocked many of you.
And then, and what I'm going to show you is Rupert Lowe's reply to that. I can't remember how many views he's had, 96,000 views. Blair is an evil bastard. Well, I think we can all agree with that one. So he's not far off the mark with that. So there's lots of things that we align with. By the way, I've got a load of these leaflets. We're not giving them out yet, because I think the right decision is not to be putting them out because of the election. There is something else that Rupert Lowe's doing, which I agree with. He's not, just to make sure if anyone wants to have a read of that, they can have a read of it later. I'll probably see if I can get a copy of it and put it out. If you want me to go for it. Do you want me to read this out to you? You tell me in the chat if you want me to read it out to you, and I'll read it out to you. But Rupert Lowe is not releasing. I think maybe I should read the email out. But it's certainly worth joining Restore Britain. And Rupert has already said Restore England. Some other people have said to me, Graham, do you think he's being strategic by not pushing certain things? That could be. In other words, he's not as blunt as me. Not only that, if in his position, if I was in his position and saying the things I'm saying now, a bit like Alex Salmond, probably wouldn't be around very long. And it's one of the reasons why he's got personal protection now, and I believe armed personal protection. So, do you want me to read out this leaflet? And there is an email But making sure I can click off of this. There's a few things I want to show you. What's that? Don't know what that is. Because I didn't know if he was willing to have a chat with her on his channel. You'd have to tell me who Ruth is. Some people, like I say, I'd have to be very careful with who them people are. Let me have a look. Let me see if I can bring it up on my screen. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. I don't know if I've got the right one there, have I? Well, I can't say. She's not coming up anywhere. So you might have to send a link to that. Let me go back. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Where would that message have been? Let's see if I can go and find it in this one. If it's not on that one, it's another one. Let me have a look. Me, because I read it out the other day. Let's see if I can find it. Not really. Let's have a look at that one. Let's have a look at that one. Restore. It's an important message. So some people may not. Oh yeah, I'm putting that out. That's quite funny. I'm going to show you something else in a couple of minutes. Let me see if I can find where he sent me that information. There was that the one? I'm trying to find important update. Maybe this is the one. I've got to be very careful while showing on the screen. But I think is this the one? No, it was an update. No, I need to. Let's see if I can put Rupert in. Rupert Lowe. I can't remember where I see it, which one it was. Lowe. Rupert. This feels a bit disjointed tonight. Only because I'm trying to find things. Rupert Lowe. It's important that you get this one. Maybe it's on the next one then. Update. And I think he may have even update. That's it. Update rape gang inquiry. Right. When was that sent out? April 26th. Right, so yesterday. Not sure if I can actually show that. Or is that a picture or not? Right, so if I read this out to you, you're like, but listen carefully to what Rupert Lowe is saying. So, rape gang inquiry update, right? Rape and torture gang. Our team is currently going through our draft report to ensure that all is legally sound for publication. The plan is straightforward. I intend to use parliamentary privilege in the chamber to name a number of the worst perpetrators and officials who we believe have escaped justice. We will then use private prosecutions to pursue those individuals through the courts and eventually put them in prison. These are incredibly dangerous scumbags. It is a national network of organised crime, agreed, and it's also supported by the police and in many cases by the judiciary and by crown ministers, right? organised crime. It's not simply disparate gangs, right? This is a comprehensive criminal network that is capable of the most evil acts. I will be informing the police, parliamentary security, and the Home Office beforehand of who I intend to name and why. I also now have private security for the first time in my life. But do not underestimate the danger of these networks. It is organised crime of the very worst kind. We started this inquiry not just to talk, but to act. The report will be published after the elections, as I want this to be cross-party effort, and party politics should not interfere with any of our activity, right? Which is one of the reasons why we've got the English Constitution Society. It's educational, and lots of different people come in, either with nothing to do with politics, never voted in their lives, but they understand what it is that we're getting across to them, right? And Labour Party members, etc. Someone there last night said to me, "You appear, when I listen to you, to be like old Labour, right?" My dad, who owned and operated 2 factories, engineering factories, taught me a trade, learned the trade off his dad, and going back, he won the pools in, I think it was 1952. And instead of shooting the money, he bought a factory, put the machinery in, and him and his brothers started up a business, right? So just to make sure everyone's aware of that, my dad always voted Labour, right? Even though he ran his own business, even though they nearly put him out of business with VAT and tax because they ballsed it all up. But often it is said, some people say to me, "You sound like Tony Benn," right? Well, Tony Benn was a constitutionalist, and he was about rights, right? And he didn't care whether you was Conservative, Labour, Lib Dem, non-voter. He was about rights, and we're here to represent you and your rights and air your grievances in this Parliament. That's what Tony Benn was about, right? So the report will be published after the elections, as I want this to be a cross-party effort, and party politics should not interfere with any of our activity. Numerous Conservative MPs have been supportive, as have the Northern Irish and even a Labour MP attending the hearings. I want this to go beyond petty party politics, right? Same as me. I always say, but this is not about us as a political right. It's not about me, right? I don't want to be a leader of a cult, right? What I want is for people to learn the common law, the Constitution, and what England gave the world, and to remember who you are, right? We have never allowed authoritarian rule in England, and as soon as we start to get it, we went bosh. We ain't having it. Go somewhere else, right? We still have a significant amount of money from the crowdfunder, and that is ready to privately prosecute. It don't cost a lot of money to do that, but you do need decent barristers. This is where we are. This is the plan. Thank you to everybody for your support, and that's to you as well, because we supported that. So again, what I'm going to do now is show you something else. And there was someone there that wanted to know another legal database that I use, which I told him last night, but I may have to do it again. I won't do it just yet. But let's see if I can find this other thing that I was looking for. I actually passed this over. Oh, there it is. Right. So again, fantastic meeting. I was quite pleased with it. A lot of people was positive there towards me. I'm not just saying this, but when I actually finished something that I was saying, and when I told them I've been banned on all platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Right, I got the biggest applause for that, which I thought was quite strange. Oh, you've been banned from everything. Well, you must be a good guy then. Yeah, I'll just say it. And obviously, I can sometimes, especially. I mean, don't forget how passionate I am about England and English people, right? And what they've done to us. So I can sometimes slip into rant mode. And some people say to me, DD, your rants are legendary, which I think is funny. But I am going to try and calm it down and make sure that people get where I'm coming from. So this was in the Metro. I don't know if anyone's seen this. If you're not seeing this, the link is in there. Where's the link gone for this one? And I'll put it out here. Here we go. You'll all think this is highly hilarious. Right, there it is. Farage furious at disturbing postman who binned reforms flyers. Right, the Royal Mail yet again. Now, bearing in mind, as I read this story out, Adam Richardson, on behalf of Reform and Sarah Pouchin, argued in the High Court that the Royal Mail didn't have a duty to deliver the leaflets, and it shouldn't be investigated, and it wasn't an electoral offence, right? Which it most definitely is. Oh, and that book, right, which is, and again, I used it in court, calf leather. Original 1795, a treatise on the law of elections and all its branches, by John Simeon, Esquire, Lincoln's Inn Barrister at Law, the second edition, corrected and enlarged. And this is a fantastic original book. Right? Those judges listened to various arguments, but it was argued against me was reform, right? Now, all of a sudden, and by the way, this issue happened to UKIP all the time. Farage never said anything, right? Now, all of a sudden, he's bitching because basically the High Court have now allowed the Royal Mail to do this. That's why it's really important for people who join and assist restore must be prepared, if they can, not to canvass, knock on people's doors and talk to people. I get why people don't want to do that, but just deliver leaflets. If you're retired, if you're not working, if you can spare time after work, if you want to go and walk out with the kids every day, you can push chair or something, just push them leaflets through the doors in all of the areas that you can do it, right? Royal Mail has launched an investigation into allegations that postmen claim to have dumped Reform UK campaign leaflets in a bin. Don't forget, we had over a ton of leaflets dumped at Runcorn and Helsby, and the distributing office had hidden them so they could destroy them. There was 2 senior managers in Runcorn that were pulled in for investigation. They kept all of that out of the court. They didn't tell anyone, right? It's disgusting what they did. And I mentioned that in the court. And they said, well, it's one of those things. A post on Facebook group for Royal Mail staff said, at my distribution office had reform parties door to door today. I dumped them all in a bin. They can sack me. I don't give a fuck. Right? It was shared in a private message with 30,000 member Facebook group called Royal Mail Chat, which is open to Royal Mail employees and partners, as well as members of the Communication Workers Union. Right, and again, there's been problems with them before. And again, in the initial phases of the case, which I won, they accepted that there was a High Court case where the post office had put an injunction on the Communication Workers Union, right, because they was interfering with an election. or intended to, a trade union covering postal delivery workers. A Reform UK legal representative wrote a letter of complaint to Alistair Cochrane, chief executive of a Reform UK legal representative, meaning that Adam Richardson, who is a complete and utter prick, right? And he's crooked, right? Chief executive Royal Mail that said the screenshot was circulated on or around Saturday, right? Distribution office is an acronym for delivery office, right? Door to door is for door to door or unaddressed advertising mail, right? Party leader Nigel Farage said on X, it is right that Royal Mail has launched a full investigation into this allegation. Bullshit, Nigel. You are one crooked cunt. And so are your legal team. And so is that MP, Sarah Pouchin, right? Because what we was demanding, and you would have shown that either the Greens or the Labour Party had cheated, right? We wasn't even suggesting that it was Sarah Pouchin. But the fact that you argued against us, you were saying we're happy with cheating. You was even happy that they dumped our leaflets. And our leaflets that were, and again, I've still got them here, right, told people about the Criminal Justice Act 1988, Section 134, torture. And it said that all of these people should be prosecuted, including judges, police, social services, lawyers, and prime ministers. Right, and I believe that's what's pushing forward now with Rupert Lowe. Right, you could get Gordon Brown in the dock. Right, if found to be true, it would be very disturbing and an attack on the democratic process itself. Cheeky fucking bastard! Right. Bearing in mind that these people are now trying to fucking bankrupt me for saying the fucking same thing, and this is what I'm saying about people like Adam Richardson, right? The man is a fucking wrong one. The judges said to me in that court, a barrister is here to assist the court. Well, so am I, and he's a liar, right? He's a fucking wrong one. Let me tell you something now. I know things that he's done in the past with UKIP, where he knew what they was doing and what UKIP were doing, some parts illegal, right? And he covered it all up legally, right? Royal Mail issued a statement saying it plays a crucial role in elections, adding, we take our responsibility very seriously. You're all being conned here, people, right? We take our responsibility very seriously and do not tolerate the deliberate non-delivery of mail. Fuck off, right? £800 our members paid on them leaflets, and your two managers dumped them, and then you covered up the fucking inquiry, and you did not tell, and you knew the inquiry was there, and you knew what they'd found, and you never told the High Court, right? That's contempt of court. It's also perverting the course of justice, right? I'm being straight with people, right? And little old me standing in the court, right, facing off against all these king counsels and barristers, and one of them barristers that was against us in that court was Adam Richardson, the same geezer writing this bullshit now and putting it out, right? We are investigating this allegation and remain committed to impartial delivery for all candidates. Fuck off, right? Reform demanded an immediate and thorough internal investigation within 3 days of its letter dated Saturday and a full written explanation. It requested details of any compensation measures that Royal Mail might propose to offer Reform UK for the loss and disruption caused by this incident. Right? What happens then? If we was to go up against the Royal Mail again, we had to give them 12.5 grand. We had to give the other mob, right? Royal Mail should be using that court case and saying, no, a judge has already said we ain't responsible for it. This is So they attacked us because we was English constitutionalists and the English Constitution Party. They're disgusting people, right? The party is also seeking confirmation that appropriate disciplinary action has or will be taken against the employee found to have participated in or condoned the destruction of the materials. On a Facebook post, the legal representative said this admission provides clear prima facie evidence of the deliberate destruction or non-delivery of Reform UK's door-to-door campaign materials that have been entrusted to Royal Mail. Just to make sure you're aware, our leaflets were approved by the Royal Mail. They was paid for and delivered to that area by a courier. They was accepted by the Royal Mail depot for delivery, right? And then they absolutely they hid them and then dumped them, right? And the point being, they're now saying like such conduct constitutes willful breach of Royal Mail statutory and contractual obligations to deliver mail and literature impartially and efficiently. That's exactly what I said in our fucking case, and that cunt was arguing against it, right? This is how bad these people are, right? That's not a barrister, right? That's a politician standing in a court and pretending, right, with his silly little wig and gown on, right, and conning the judges. It's just disgusting, right? Absolutely disgusting. And then are the Royal Mail, right? And by the way, they're not even allowed to have Royal Mail and the Crown on it. It's a private organisation now. It's got no royal warrant. If it had royal, if it was still a royal warrant that they was running under, they're Crown servants. It's disgusting what they've done. Does everyone understand what I just showed you? Right. So this guy, and by the way, he's taking all my legal arguments now and referring them, saying that, but this is what's happening. He's literally. Did anyone see the skeleton arguments that I put forward, right? That listed what the law was on the Royal Mail, right? Has she got a channel? Do you have a link to it? I don't know what all that is about. Corrupted, our case wouldn't be in this position. Anyone who come and watched them hearings could see, I mean, again, it's not like I am now, suited, booted, talking and persuading the judges. We won the first, the second hearing, right? They owe us 120 grand, right? And he does, and Reform do, right? Because they lost them arguments. They lost in the appeal court. 3-0, by the way. Sadly, yes. Carved up. Farage is not laughing now, is it? No, that's what I mean. Can you believe this? Listen, right? I can't see these people would have done anything like that to us, right? They know that we're about England. Graham, I've had a great idea. Go on, Bobby Moore. Slimming. I've just had a quick nosy in the Easily merch store. I think there is room for another T-shirt with the ECC badge, and I do not consent. Ashby versus White. If that's Ray Edmonds, I was fuming when I saw the Royal Mail article. Ray Edmonds, I bet you was, son. Right? I was sitting there thinking they're just disgustingly corrupt, right? I mean, I do mean that. They are part of the organised crime, right? Politics now today, apart from Restore, are organised crime. Trust me, at high level, highest level possible, including, I may add, the monarchy, right? Because they're not doing any. They're being paid by us. The monarchy is a fraud currently, right? The monarchy is a fraud. They have prerogatives And if you pass a prerogative to someone else, it's no longer a royal prerogative. It becomes an ordinary part of process. By the way, Sir William Wade says that in Constitutional Fundamentals, which is the lecture he gave at Hamlin Trust, right? But the monarchy are taking money from us. A constitutional monarchy is there as a separate executive to if there was any laws that come through that affected our rights, they do not give a cent, right? Then it can go into the law courts, and the law courts should look at it. They should be independent. That's what Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II said, right? In July 20th, 1988. It's in Hansard. Go and read it. Let's have a look. Unless someone else wants to make one and send the design over, Royal Mail went to shit. Let's say Royal Mail went to shit when Adam Crozier was in charge. I don't know too much about that Royal Mail. Shit anyway. It takes a week and a half to get a fucking first class letter anywhere. Sometimes longer. They're so biased. Remember that guy that you got caught on a Ring doorbell? Mail person with a racist on a leaflet. Yeah, I do. Chuck money. Surely, if that Royal Mail argument is now shown as valid argument, then you should have recourse to your verdict. No, they won't allow that. It's disgusting. It's disgusting what they're doing, right? John Aspel, Graham, do you think Sausage Fingers is in America to sign over the Corporation of London? No, I don't. I do think he's having discussions about Canada. That could have very serious applications for certain things. And I think there's onward discussions about Greenland. I think he could be signing over Canada. Or at the very least, Alberta. Sausage Fingers prefers Ramadan to Christianity. Yeah, no, he does. Jimmy Savile was running the Royals, and the British establishment are all toxic P-Vals together. I don't disagree with that. No one can tell me that the royal family, with MI6 and being in charge of an advanced military industrial complex, including intelligence services, that they didn't know that all these nonces was visiting Buckingham Palace, that they didn't realise that Jimmy Savile was a nonce, right? They give him the keys to Broadmoor, for fuck's sake, right? He was in there fucking dead bodies. Agree with that 100%. Anomalous cat, they knew. Yeah, they all know, right? But people need to understand. So what these old law books tell me, is that either a monarchy or a republic that is Roman law never lasts. That a republic or a monarchy that was a common law system over time and duration. That's why England lasted, in effect, 1100 years. And it's now deteriorating because they've allowed the Scottish system into an English parliament, jurisdiction, I mean. That's what's caused the problem. And in these law books, it tells me that. It tells me keep Roman law keep it away from England. Mr. President needs to remind Charlie about the Constitution. The royal family have the best security. They know who to. No, I know they do. 100%. Right. Anything else anyone wants to catch up with? I've had a wonderful weekend. I've been out with my wife-to-be on the moors. We went to the Warren Inn pub and had rabbit pie. Well, I did. And when I got home, I went, "What's up, duck?" She went, "What?" I said, "You are what you eat." Sorry. Bad joke, I know, for those who are vegetarians watching this. Not a bit of rabbit, though. We see all the old ponies over there, and we drove through it. It's lovely. Went to an old bridge and that. Jason and Laura was out there with us. And then we took them to another pub, which is the nuts, where I have a blue steak, where the actual cow, or beef, or whatever you call it, bullock, was walking around in the field yesterday. And I have it blue. So it's rare, extra rare. And Janet said to me, that is so rare, it's still mooing. But it's lovely. Just to let you know. So if there's any vegetarians out there that don't like that, I do apologise, but it's just life. That's how I like red meat. It's anti-English conspiracy. I could not eat rabbit to save my life. I was just having a conversation with it. Listen, if I was in Australia, I would have ate Skippy. I could not eat rabbit to save my life. Who's that? You mean raw? You mean raw? Yeah, raw. I could eat raw steak. Don't need to cook it. As long as it's at room temperature. Walk past the candle. Plenty of meat in Guinness. Yeah. I hadn't had a Guinness for a long time. I'll be drinking cider. I'm in Devon. They do lovely cider in Devon. Let me have a look here. Blue walks in the kitchen and that. I think walking in and out of the kitchen is too long. It's literally flipped and flapped. If you... raw meat is supposed to be good for you. Yeah, it is good for you. If you eat only rabbit, it will kill you. Yeah? Yeah, but I like the currants. The custard. Not really. Hi, DD. Hello, Kew Gardens. Woohoo! We made 100 thumbs up. Well done. Oh, yeah. I ain't said it ever. Hit the thumbs up button. What else was there? Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And there will be more of me having a chat. And I'm going to work out ways how I can assist in Devon. And remember, it's not about me. And we're still running the English Constitution Party. There will be certainly places where Restore might say, not a bit of me. There's one in particular I spoke to Psych about, and they ain't got to do it if they don't want to do it. Just give it to me and I'll go, we'll graft it. There you go. We ate rabbit caught by my uncle when I was a kid. Yeah. My dad used to eat rabbit. The Club of Rome. How do we get rid of the bloody Roman law? The easiest way is to avoid the Acts of Union. 85 likes so far. Yeah. Well, we get rid of Roman law. So hit the like button. Don't forget to repost. And again, I'm going to come back. Let me see if I can take that off a second. Have a look at that. Do you think that's all right? I think that's all right, don't you? Hey? You're listening to me out there. Restore England. And Rupert Lowe's already said that. He's sent out a tweet and said, Restore England. Let me go back to my original. So I'm going to love you and leave you with this. You will see me on the screen. I will become active. If there's any other members that have joined these other things and you want, they want a constitutional seminar by the English Constitution Society. So it is literally an educational thing, and they will fully understand about the Constitution, etc. There was people coming up to me last night and saying, what books do I need to read to understand these bits? And I've explained it to them, and they was writing various things down of what books to put down. I would love to see you compare the English and American Bill of Rights. Jason, if you are the Jason, that now resides in Alaska, I will do that for you, is the answer. And I will dedicate it to you. All right. So, but you will have to remind me, or I will ask Tracy, Juicy and Lucy and Janet to remind me to do that, because it's very interesting, and I can cross map it all, and you'll see exactly what it is. And just to make sure everyone is aware of this, the founding fathers said the right to keep and bear arms in the Second Amendment. It was stated in her case, which was Justice Scalia, and I'm going to show it to you in about, just to make sure you understand, right? So, let me take that off the screen a sec. Right, this book here, Reading Law, Interpretation of Legal Text, Antonin Scalia, right, and A. Gardner. In this book, it actually tells you, because he's got her case in it. Let me see if I can find it for you. Table of cases 443. Hang on, 443, 443. There's a famous case in here. Table of cases. H. Where's me H's? H. I think it was a her case. H. I'll find it in a minute. Well, I can't find it in a minute, but I will find it for you. And if you don't know what he looks like, it's that guy there. Right? But he actually says in this book, he says that the American Constitution came from the English Constitution, and the Second Amendment was an existing right. And it came from the English because it was in the English Bill of Rights. And from the English Bill of Rights, it was an existing right that they was reaffirming to the people that you have the right to keep and bear arms. And the reason why they had guns in them days, the reason why they didn't say guns and they said arms is because you can arm yourself with anything that you need to defend yourself, whether it be a tank, whether it be an aircraft, whether it be a knife, whether it be a dagger, whether it be a petrol bomb. And again, we've had cases in England, which I've shown people, where the High Court has said preparing a petrol bomb in self-defence is not terrorism, it's self-defence. And if that's all you've got at your disposal, that's what you can use to defend yourself, right? So just to make sure people are clear. So hopefully Jason has replied to me. I'm not sure if Jason's still out there or he's I was looking for one. Good night. So I'm going to say good night, God bless. Don't forget what I believe in. The Constitution is the solution. All right, so I'm going to leave central Devon, restore Britain, and there was quite a few of us there last night. This is only going to get bigger, right? And the more we get organised and people understand we're all on the same side, the better. So what I'm going to do now is leave you with this on the screen and say, don't forget what I believe in. The Constitution is the solution.